A long experience in manufacturing of pressure sensor. Uh, After that, we entered the field of manufacturing of testing equipment, where we fit the pressure sensors into a box and we make it to work for certain industry as a test equipment or a pressure testing equipment. This brought us to the aviation segment, where we have a good a number of sensors installed in airplanes. So we can list more than 14 sensors in Boeing planes came from DRAC for different type of systems, from engine to fuel consumption to emergency air to environment control systems to APU, etc. And of course, we have the legacy and the well-known ADTS pitot-static testers, which are the leading in the market, and it's listed in the most of the aircraft maintenance manuals by leading manufacturers. This brings us to our latest technology, which we in pressure, which we call the TERBS. It's the trench edge resonant pressure sensor. This sensor it's fitted in all of our new ADTS products, which delivered a very high level of accuracy and stability, which will provide you a good accuracy for your device, and this accuracy will remain for a long time. So even if you send your device for calibration, you will just see that you are just getting a verification. No adjustment is needed. We're very confident about our sensor, and the technology proves that. Hello, can you hear me now? Yes. So lost sound. Okay. Okay, so we look again at the agenda. We have a message from EASA, which was posted a few months ago in regard of the status of the airplanes after the pandemic. And then we will look at the ADTS. What's the pitot-static tester? We will compare the traditional and the modern pitot-static systems. Then we will see how the device works. We will see the ADTS or the pitot-static in different applications. We will start by the light jets and the helicopters, be moving to the larger planes, which are the transporters and the passengers jets. Then we will go to the special or the planes which are having a smart probes for angle of attack. Then we will take a look at the 4-channel ADTS, which is a patent for us. And after that, we will be After that, we will be looking at the applications in military, RVSM compliance, the considerations when you wanted to comply with RVSM, which you should know. So we'll be moving from the product to the metrology a little bit. We will see the considerations, how to buy the right product and to buy the right accuracy, and then what value you have to pay your money for. So that's our agenda for today. Again, I hope that it's clear for everyone now how would be our path. So let's start from the message from EASA. So EASA is the European Aviation Safety Agency. They have posted an article about the concerns emerge as the air data incidents follow the revival of a long storage of airplanes. So as we know, due to the pandemic hits the globe, a lot of airlines had to ground their planes and send that to a long-term storage. That when the planes are coming now from the storage, there will be a lot of problems which need to be addressed. Some of these problems were related and gives an alarming that the pitot-static systems has got contaminated. So despite that the covers are on, the planes are getting unreliable airspeed and altitude indications. This results to a contaminated air data system, and this should be taken into consideration before doing the first flight. So I put a link on that. You can go and let's go there and just see it together. So as we all know, this system is very critical to have a safe takeoff and safe landing. And this is there was an alarm trended by that there are a number of reports came that the planes came back from storage have unreliable airspeed and altitude indications. So these needs to be addressed, and by having the right tool, you will be sure that your plane is in compliance. We know that the aviation now is struggling. By the way, if you are investing in the right equipment, you will save a lot by having the plane ready all the time. So I just wanted to highlight that this is not an easy task. You need to take that very seriously, and you need to invest in the right equipment, so you will be reliable. You will have a reliability results, and you will be happy with the performance of your planes. So what's the pitot-static system, or basically the ADTS? It's a ground support equipment. It's used by airlines and MROs to validate the avionics systems of the plane to see if they are complying with the regulations and the requirements of the aircraft manufacturer. So this is basically a ground support equipment which we use it while the plane is on ground, and it's used to verify the compliance of the pitot-static system, either from to do it for a verification of the readings, or to have the leak checks when installing new props. What parameters the ADTS validate? First, we have the altitude, where the tester will be connected to the static ports. The airspeed, where the tester hoses will be connected to the pitot tubes or the pitot-static tubes. And these two will lead us to the rate of climb, the true airspeed, and the ground speed. These all are indicators which can be tested using the pitot-static tester. And then the angle of attack. This is 4 planes which are using the smart probe for angle of attack measurement. The legacy pitot-static system used to be a very basic system where you have a pitot tube, which will lead to an airspeed indicator. It's just a pure pressure sensor or pure pressure gauge, let's say. Altimeter, which is connected to the static port. Vertical speed indicator, which is a differential pressure between the airspeed and the altimeter. This was a very basic system people used to do the check using a pump and a gauge. So you simply pump pressure from the pitot tube, make a vacuum from the static port, and simulate certain readings and just verify if the system is correct or not. This system is not here anymore, even for light jets and trainers. This legacy system is not in place anymore. The modern system is much complicated, where you have air data computer, which takes readings from multiple pressure sensors, where you have the captain system, the angle of attack, the temperature, the pitot, the static ports again in the standby system. Then you have the first officer system. So the system is so complicated in a way that you should have a modern equipment to do that. That's why we saw a lot of improvements happens to the aircraft maintenance manuals when it came to the modern planes, where you need to do the right maintenance for the system. So how the device works, basically, the device is connected to the plane through hoses and kits. These will go to the pitot tubes and to the static ports. Then we can drive the tester to simulate air pressure similar to the conditions which the plane faces while it's taking off, landing, or cruising, and verify that the readings are correct or not in specs. Is there any questions on chat? I don't think so. Yes, so we have different products for different application. Let's look at the airplanes and look at their characteristics. Here we are having a helicopter, a drone, a passenger jet. On two sizes, we have narrow body and wide body. And then we have a military jet. When you look at the characteristics for light jets, drones, helicopters, coast guards, these are working on relatively lower airspeed, low service ceiling. When we speak about the passengers, transporters, planes, we are speaking about high airspeed, high service ceiling relatively to the helicopters, and a compliance to RVSM is required. Then we have the military jets, which are super fast. It has much higher service ceiling, and the acceleration is high, and the systems are designed for maneuvering. So you have rapid change in altitude and airspeed, which is not the same case for the passenger planes and for the helicopters. So this means that we cannot use the same product for all of these applications, right? That make us to manufacture many type of ADTS to fit all of their needs. So let's take a look quickly at the families we have. We have the family called 500, and we have the family called 400. The 500 is mainly for civilian applications. It's a flight line version. The 400 series is for both civilian and military, and we have also a rack-mounted version for airplane and air data computer manufacturers. So we will take a look at the products in detail. We have the first model, which is targeting the light jets. 542, the 552 is targeting the civilian aircrafts like Boeing, Airbus. 553 is targeting the aircrafts with smart angle of attack props like Embraer, Dassault Falcon, Gulfstream. 554, which can work on all of the above planes. Then we have the ADT S405, which is for civilian and military, and super fast and supersonic. We hope it will come back planes like F-15, F-16, Mirage, etc. We will come to see that one by one. So, starting with the civilian family, which is the 500 series family. It's the most recent family in Druck family of products. It has 4 variants, as we said, to fit any requirement and any budget. And it consists of 4 models. The first model is 2-channel for small jets, which is the 542. 552 is 2 channels for large jets. 553 is a 3-channel for jets with angle of attack props. And the 4 channels, which you can use it as 2-channel, 3-channel, or you can calibrate 2 systems at the same time. So to calibrate the main system and the first officer system at the same time. This system is, we design it to be unplugged, means that you don't need to have a cable between the control unit and the tester, or we call it the hand terminal and the tester. So it's made on wireless technology where you have the Bluetooth, the industrial Bluetooth to support the communication. So there is no need to hang cables from the cockpit. So we will see how this technology works. So as we know, the system is consisting of 2 parts. The first one is the tester. The second one is the hand terminal. You have 3 ways to connect them together. The first one is to dock the device into the base unit. If you want, you can use it like that. Or you can connect a cable between the tester and the hand terminal. Or the third one, which is the most convenient one, to have a wireless hand terminal. You don't need any cable between the device and the hand terminal. So this will give us ease to use, no need to hang cables from the cockpit window. It's a class 1 secure Bluetooth industrial class. So it's typically 50 meters range. This is not as the Bluetooth we are using in our phones, which is a class 2. So it's very reliable, it's strong, and it's easy to use. But due to local currency license requirements, it might not be available in all countries. So you have to check that before you purchase. But in any way, you still can connect the cable where you have the benefit of having the device charged while it's connected to the tester. It has an easy color swipe screen. It's very simple. We design it in an iPhone style, means that you can use the swipe technology to navigate through that. And this makes the life very easy if you have new people, because every one of us is using smartphone these days. So the people can navigate and play with the instrument without having a very sophisticated training about how to go through the manuals. It's a multi-touch screen. It's also icon driven, so we will come to see that. And it has multiple languages. So if you are in a country where people are speaking different language than English, you still have multiple options to select from. So this is our hand terminal. As you can see, it's mostly driven by icons. So this is the dashboard when you turn the equipment on. If you press on pitot static, it will take you immediately to the altitude and airspeed. where you can put the set point, or you can just send the plane to the ground. So it's very easy initiative menu, which does not require that advanced training. By swiping the screen from from right to left, you will go to the rate timer. This rate timer can be used for leak test. So just by one click, you will be able to go to calibration menu. By a click and a swipe, you will go to the leak checker or the rate timer menu. This hand terminal is not associated with a certain tester. It can be paired to any tester. So if you have many testers and you wanted to exchange the hand terminals, if let's say one of these are in charging, you can use the other one. All settings and options are stored in the base unit. So this makes it easy and flexible if you have multiple testers. So you can use, you are not sticking with the accessories. You can match between them. It has a robust design, IP65 water and weather protection, and suitable to use between -20 and 60 degrees Celsius. So it's a very good pick for our region. We'll make it a true flight line usable device. The brightness of the screen is high, so it's readable under the sunlight. You don't have to worry about that anymore. Any questions, please? You can keep it on chat. I'm just reviewing this. There are no questions. Let's continue then. The first product is the ADTS 542, which is the ideal solution for light aircrafts, turboprops, helicopters, crop sprayers, air ambulances, police, coast guards, etc. So, as we said, it's very handy unit. It's small, portable, self-contained. You can carry it wherever you want. As we said, the device itself has an ambient temperature between 0 and 50 degrees. Why is that? Because we have pumps inside. So that's why it starts from 0. You don't want to have any ice formation inside the device. 650 knots airspeed and up to 55,000 feet altitude. So it's ideal for civilian aircrafts. We have low airspeed option. So a device dedicated for low airspeed. If you don't fly up to 650, you can order the low airspeed. We have also non-RVSM model. So if you are flying below RVSM, you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to pay the RVSM. You can pay less and get the right tester for you. We have a safety limits for the aircraft. So it's either a factory defined or you have factory defined for helicopters, for fixed wing, for delta wing. So we have put some safety limit protections, and you can also create your own to prevent the error might happen by a user mistake. It has a new proportional control technology. So the pump is working on the proportional principle. This ensures a smooth and stable pressure control, which will be soft on your avionics, so it will not get you your avionics hard. It has the new TERPS pressure sensor, high accuracy, high stability, enables you to do the RVSM, and you can store customized air test sequences and observe readings. So this improves your productivity. So let's say, for example, you have 330, 350, 777, 787 in your fleet. You can store the test sequence from the aircraft maintenance manual to the tester. So when the operator comes to use, he don't have to look into the AMM or to follow the steps. He can just run the procedure and he can just observe and take the results out of it. This will improve your team productivity and reduce the time required for the test. This 15 device came with 12-month recalibration period. You can optionally order a higher stable sensor, which will increase the recalibration interval to 15 months. So this will reduce the cost of ownership. So this will get calibrated 4 times every 5 years instead of 5 times. So this will increase the device availability and reduce the cost of ownership. We have direct local support centers globally. So in the Middle East, we have a service center here in UAE. We have service centers in all continents where you can just have a peace of mind that your device does not need to go to the factory for service or for calibration. You can send it to the local service center and enjoy less turnaround times. So that was the 542, which is targeting the light jets. 552 is the next device. It's also a 2-channel tester, ideal for civilian aircrafts with high pitot-static volume, like military transport, narrow body, medium body, and wide body passenger planes, freighters, and etc. Features, it's all the features we saw in the 542 plus. We have a large bump and vacuum bump capacities, means that because you are using that in a bigger plane, you wanted longer hoses. So the planes, the pumps having a better capacity and ensure that the device will not be struggling to reach to the set point. It will be ideal. So this is designed to work with that large volume pitot-static planes. Then limitations of 650 knots, 60,000 feet altitude, ideal for all civilian aircrafts. 5,000 hours of pump capacity. So if you are using the device, if the pitot-static testing is taking 2 hours, then you can use that for 2,500 tests before you need the pump to be serviced. So this is a really lower cost of ownership. Its standard calibration period is 15 months, and you can optionally order a higher stable sensor, which will make your device in calibration for 18 months. So you have to send it for calibration every 1.5 years instead of having that every 1 year. And it has a 2-year standard warranty, so you have a peace of mind about your device. Is there any questions, please? Okay, so let's go to the next one. The next one is the ATTS 553. As you notice, guys, the last number is only changing, which represents the number of channels. So this is targeting, this is a 3-channel tester, which targets the planes with smart probe for angle of attack. So there are certain planes which are having the angle of attack measured by a pneumatic probe, for example, Embraer planes. These requires 3 types of 3-channel ADTS to simulate these 3 parameters: altitude, airspeed, and angle of attack at the same time. So this product is typically targeting these applications. It has all the features in the previous devices, plus, as we said, the third channel control and aircraft test program option, which is ideal for the Embraer 170 and 190. And it can be used as 2-channel or 3-channel. So it's the 3-channel tester, but you can disable the 3rd channel if you are working in a plane which requires 2-channel, like Airbus, for example. The last device we will discuss in this family is the ADTS 554. This is a patent device for DRAC. We bring that principle that we are having a 4-channel tester. So it's typical to use it as 2-channel, 3-channel, or 4-channel devices. So you can use it for all the applications of the previous devices. What's the purpose of having this device instead of having a 2-channel tester with a T connector, or let's say a distribution panel where you get the air in the first system and the backup system, or the captain system and the first officer system at the same time? First of all, you can simulate different types of pressure here and there. You can easily detect if there is any leak rather than suspecting about your connections. And the second thing, that you can test the warning system. So we know that there is a warning appear if there is a mismatch between the captain system and the first officer system. This can be tested using the 4-channel while we are giving different pressure values to the tubes. Also, it can be used to test the stall warning system, where you need to simulate different readings to all channels. So that's the 4-channel ADTS, which is the best in class we have for the 500 series device. Okay, let's go to the chat and see if there is any questions, please. Yes, so we have a question from Ur that after purchasing the 552, can it be upgraded to 554 or 553? The answer is yes. Let's go back to the photo of the 552. The 553 here, just look at the photo in the corner. There is a place for an empty, it's an empty slot where you can fit a 4-channel. And on the 2-channel tester, you can upgrade it to 3 or 4 channels. So that, sorry, that option, we keep it for future expansion and reduce the cost of ownership in case of the business need changes for our customers. So yes, it's upgradable in our service centers. Any more comments or questions, please? Okay, so let's take a look at the accessories. We have backpack for the 542, which is the lightest version we have. We have ADTS touch case. So this is for the hand terminal. You can put it on that case. You can put it on your shoulders. Even if your tester is still on ground, you can have this with you rather than carrying it. You can just hang it on your with the strap on your neck. We have the accessories case where you can fit the hoses, the fittings, etc. We have pneumatic hoses in different colors to use for altitude, airspeed, or angle of attack. We have all the fittings. We have the AN standards on all sizes, males and females. We have the Hansen connections. We have the Stobli. So if you have any requirement, you will just get the right accessories from Druck. And this case is for accessories, which is the one on the left. It can be mounted on the handle of the tester. So this is the handle. You can just mount that there and move them as one kit. So that's how the device looks without the carrying case. You can just pull it like a trolley case. It's very easy, very handy to use. Okay, so the value added we have in this family, these are portable, compact, robust, and self-contained device. It's ideal for flight line. You can just put it on the back of your truck, and you can immediately go to the line, either in the apron or in the hangar, and start doing the maintenance. You just need a power supply, which is usually can be taken from the plane itself or from the hangar. So this device can be worked either on the 400 hertz or the 50-60 hertz voltage from 100 to 250 volts. So this is ideal to be used either for power from the plane or from the network. The wireless hand terminals, this will make the life easy. The swipe technology will make the need of training. This will make it easier to get your people trained fast to that. We have the 542, which is the cheapest version in the family, which can fit the limited budget. We have a solution for helicopters, business jets, light aircrafts, up to military aircraft. So you have the dedicated and the tailor-made device for your application. We have the 4-channel instrument, which can save a lot of time and money. And we have the new high stable sensor. So instead of having the 12-month recalibration period, you have either 15 or 18 months. And you can store the customized aircraft test sequences, which will improve the productivity. We have a question from Mr. Anand. We have also the 24 months warranty. Is there any training manual available for these testers? Yes, we have the manual, which is available on the web, and we have also a video, which is a 45-minute video. It will describe everything you need to know from A to Z. The device will be used to calibrate a simulation system. So yes, the materials are available. I can send the details after this call. Okay, let's take a look now at the 400 series. The 400 series, the ADTS 405. I bet that if you are in the industry, in the aviation industry, you have seen this device at least once. The 405, sorry. So the 405 is the reliable pitot-static testers mainly targeting the military aircrafts. This wide-body high airspeed aircraft avionics validation can be done using this tester. The device now is calling ADTS 405 Mark II or MK2. We used to have the MK1 in service more than 15 years. We have thousands of units working across the world. The main reason we shifted to the MK2 is to comply with the reduced of hazardous materials, the RoHS compliance. And it has exactly the same functionality like the successor one. The ADTS 405, as we said, is more than 15 years in service. It's used by most of the military air forces worldwide. It's the standard tool in US Navy and US Army for over 25 years. So we started by making custom designs for US Navy and US Army, then we made that available for everyone. It is a very successful device because it's a durable, reliable, and accurate device. People are using that for many years and they are happy with it. The US military trusts that technology and it's fully integrated in their board and in NATO system. So it has a NATO part number. As you can see, we have different variants to fit different air forces. So we have the US Army version. It's a bit tailored to their requirements. US Navy version, which is the white one, and the UK Royal Air Forces. And we have the generic device, which we saw, which can be sold to any military. It's the only approved tool for F-16, and it has a huge install base globally. So we have more than 1,400 units in US Army, US Navy alone. Thanks to the large capacity of the pump, we can use it to validate pitot-static tubes for high acceleration items like missiles. It's also so military jets, missiles. You need to have a high accuracy, not only high range or high altitude or high airspeed. You need also to change these parameters very quickly. So this is the right tool for that. If we look at the specs, it has an altitude range from minus 3,000 to 80,000 feet. At very high accuracy, it's 29 feet only at 6,000 feet. The airspeed can go up to 10 Mach or 1,000 knots. The rate of climb, you can adjust it from 0 to 6,000 feet per minute. And you can also use that for engine pressure ratio if you are wanted to test the engine, the differential between the input and output of the engine. Let's go to the questions. Where we can access the materials, it's available on DRAC website. You can go to drac.com. You can go to ADTS download section. You will find the datasheet, the safety manual, and the operating manual. And the video is available on YouTube. I can share these details after the call, so I will just send that to everyone. Is there any competition in the market worth mentioning? Yes, there is a competition. We will not mention any name in this presentation, but we are going to a very interesting section where we will allow you to, or after reviewing this material together, you will be able to confidently read our datasheet, the competitor datasheet, and you will know the difference by yourself. So that's the purpose of having this level of information. Can we record the measurement or we send the measurement device to a computer or a different storage media? Yes, the testers itself does not have the data storage functions, but the 405 can be connected through multiple communication protocols to recording devices or even to the computer itself. Can we use the MK2 for civil helicopters? Yes, for sure. I have a lot of airlines, even civilian airlines, who are using the 405. So what's the equation? The equation is you cannot use the low device for high applications, but you can use the high end device for simpler applications. I'll be sharing the materials, of course. right? So let's now move to the RVSM so we can finish on time. Then we can have the time for Q&A. This is a summary. 542 small jets, 552 civilian aircrafts, 553 smart angle of attack props, 554 for all the above applications, 405 is for military and fast jets. Okay, RVSM. RVSM is the short word for reduced vertical separation minimum or minima. It's a regulation put in place when the air traffic has increased. It came into force in 1997. Before that, it was allowed to have a 2,000 feet vertical separation between any two planes in a certain airspace. This allows 7 planes to be flying between 29,000 feet or flight level 220, 290, 241,000 feet. But in 1997, they decided to reduce it to 1,000 feet, so you can fit 13 planes in a certain airspace instead of fitting 7 planes. This improves the air traffic, but it puts a lot of pressure on the altitude sensors specifically to have certain level of accuracy to meet these RVSM. So each aircraft need to fly between 29 and 41,000 feet need to be RVSM compliant, which has a series of tests and checks need to be done before verifying that. It's common practice to see the people say that my pitot-static tester is RVSM compliant, and this is a wrong word. Why? Because there is no criteria or there is no reference for a pitot-static tester that it's RVSM compliant. The RVSM is something for the plane. It's not something for the tester. That's why the right word to say that my device can help you to be RVSM compliant or can help you to comply with these regulations. You should review and know a lot of meteorological characteristics, accuracy, drift, precision, so you can tell if this is a true tester which can help you in RVSM compliance or not. We will come to see that together. So before you choose a pitot-static tester for RVSM compliance, you need to address the following things. You need to know a clear definition what the accuracy means. So the accuracy is a very large word in meteorology. You need to know if the manufacturer mentions 10 feet accuracy, what does that mean? What does that include? What does that exclude? Then you should know that all the factors are included in that term. You should also know what do they mean by precision. You should know the importance of the controller stability, how it also affects the RVSM, how stable is your controller after going to the set point, and the effect of the environmental factors, something like the fluid density, the fluid humidity, temperature, electromagnetic compatibility, etc. So all of these need to be taken into consideration because this can affect the overall accuracy and might take your device from out of the RVSM. So let's take a look at this, for example, A350. We need to calibrate that for RVSM. We bought a tester, and this tester manufactured on these specs. Precision is plus or minus 0.05 millibar of pressure. The calibration expanded uncertainty at sigma equal to is 0.2 millibar. The drift is 0.2 millibar per year. This is the true values of the device. We will see now three ways to write these specifications on the datasheet. Case number one, we will a lot of people do that. It's often that the people do this, that they provide the precision value and they label it as accuracy. So the customer, if you require 0.1 millibar for this airplane, you will see that this 0.05 millibar is twice better, so it's good. So this is what you expect, the one on dark blue. While in fact, the accuracy over 1 year is 0.46 millibar, which is the light blue. So here we have the drift in millibar, and here we have the probability. This is done for 100,000 trials. So this is what you're buying for. You buy for that I will remain here. I will have 0 error when I buy the device, and after 1 year, I will be reaching to maximum 0.2. While what you get is the one in the light blue. Why is that? Because the accuracy term written by the manufacturer is only including the precision as the accuracy. While this is wrong, all these are 3 types of errors, which you cannot neglect any of these. So this translates that at 41,000 feet, you will have plus minus 53 feet of uncertainty by excluding these 2 terms from the accuracy calculation. So you have to remember that precision does not equal accuracy. Precision is just one source of errors. You have other sources of errors which should be taken into consideration when we speak about the total accuracy of the device. Case number 2. The supplier will write the specs that he will put the precision and calibration expanded uncertainty as, and he will neglect the drift. The drift is the change of the behavior of the sensor over time. So everything after some time, it will have some decrease in its performance. This is what we call the drift. At the time of calibration, when the device is manufactured and calibrated in the factory, it was correct. It was 0.22 millibar, which is in gray. So here is the claimed specs. But again, over 1 year, we will have a drift of 0.2 millibar per year, which will total 0.46 millibar, which is in the light blue. In this case, the drift is excluded from the accuracy statement. So the error would be 0.22 plus 0.2. So this will be more than the label claimed in the datasheet of this tester. So if you include all sources of errors in the accuracy term, but you did not mention how long you guarantee these specs or what's the drift over 1 year, 18 months, then you leave us in the dark. Case number 3, if the supplier includes the precision, calibration, expanded uncertainty, and drift in the accuracy value, this is the best practice. He will give you the idea that this device, this is the maximum error can happen, and this is the worst case scenario over a period of time, which is 1 year, 15 months, 18 months. So if you remember when we spoke about the products, we say that this is the price or this is the specs guaranteed for 15 months or 18 months. So, and this is what we use in DRAC. So why to buy DRAC? We use the achieved performance data. We don't use kivets. We don't use hidden definitions. We don't put small prints. Our data sheet is very clear, describing the product capabilities, literally. And our accuracy mentioned in the data sheet includes the calibration uncertainty, nonlinearity, hysteresis, repeatability, control stability, and the measurement stability for 12, 15, or 18 months. That's why we believe that you should think twice before you buy any tester, and you should be aware of this information. For the interest of time, we will not go through the other factors, which are the accuracy specifications in detail. We just spoke about that in brief. The importance of the controller stability, and then the impact of environmental factors. I will refer you, if you need more information, to the ADTS white paper. If you want, you can scan this code with your mobile now, or you will have that link later when you have the materials. This is the white paper. If you scan the code, you will get this white paper. It's a 10 pages written by metrologists. It's very detailed and informative. So you will have all of these considerations, which we have taken case 1, case 2, and case 3. You have the same studies for drift, for precision, for the density sensitivity, where some of the manufacturers are using different technology than the one we use, and how the density of the air affects that, especially that if you are in a humid country, you should take that into consideration. And finally, the electromagnetic compatibility, the noise caused by the tester, which has less control stability, and the highest allowable error. So I suggest you go there, you read that, at least you will get an information which will help you if you read the specs of Druck or other competitor of Druck to understand what exactly they are offering you, and will you have a tool which will be you will rely on and you have peace of mind or not. So finally, what value you will buy when you decide to purchase a pitot-static tester? You should look at the compliance. You will also look at the price, ease to use, and the cost of ownership. And on all of these, Druck wins. So we are complying with the TRS. We have the RVSM, including stability, and we are listed in the aircraft maintenance manuals. Our prices are market competitive. It's not the cheapest, but it is not the most expensive. We are very competitive. The devices are very easy to use, wireless touchscreen, colored, multi-language interface. The cost of ownership and support, 15 to 18 months recalibration period, global warranty of Druck 24 months, service calibration centers all around the world. So that would be the right way to buy. And if you invest in the right equipment, you will save a lot of time and a lot of money later when you do the when you have the audits. So let's now, I'm done with the materials. So let's now take some questions. Okay. Haven't you used the ADTS for 5 minutes? I haven't seen it in your stable devices. Mr. Fridon, the ADTS 554 can be used as 2-channel tester, but we did not do that before. Why? Because people basically will not overpay or overspend on something which they don't use. So we have two types of users for ADTS. We have airlines and we have MROs. Airlines usually prefer to buy a device which will work on their fleet. The MRO, every day he receives different planes. So he wanted a device to work on all types of planes, so he don't have to buy tester for every single plane type he receives. So that's the difference between one who bought a 2-channel and the one who bought 4-channel. So if you have a 4-channel, definitely you can use it for helicopter, you can use it for transporter, you can use it for military, you can use it for drone. But this depends on the application and the budget you have. Sorry, does the 15 or 18 months of calibration apply to all of Druck ADTS? Once we quote you the model, so all of the 542, it came with 12 months as a standard. If you add a little bit extra of money, we will replace the sensor with a 15-month stable sensor. 552, 553, and 554 came with standard 15 months, and if you pay extra a little bit, you will get an 18 months recalibration period. Do we have a calibration base within Africa? Unfortunately not. The closest one is France for you. So we have France, we have UK, and we have Abu Dhabi, UAE. Any more questions, please? So we already passed the time. So what's the calibration duration for ADTS 405? The calibration duration for 405 is 12 months. This device is used for critical applications, where we always recommend the people to send it for calibration frequently. We have it will not have a drift, by the way, but at least they will have their paperwork completed for the audits. Especially that we fit TERP sensor in that, so we hardly see a device which has a drift, but it's always having the device in compliance. Any more questions, guys? Okay, so if you have any questions, you can stay. Otherwise, you are free to go. Thank you very much, guys, for attending this call. I will be sending you a small questionnaire after the presentation. So in case you have a requirement, we can help you with that. You need more information, or you just need to stay in touch. So thank you very much. Have a great rest of the day and stay safe. Thank you.